about this whole situation with Essence Festival. And Essence Festival this year was a decline in the turnout. And obviously, the reason why the criticisms came about was because of what happened with this particular cultural fest. And many people who went there, at least what I've heard, is that, hey, listen, we feel like Essence Fest was not catered as much to the historical African-American community, hashtag FBA, hashtag ADOS, as it should have been, all right? Despite the many other issues that were around, all right? And so now the festival is becoming more African. The festival is becoming more Caribbean. And nobody comes to New Orleans for African food or Caribbean food. In fact, it seems like Essence Fest is now the opportunity for African culture to show its head, when in fact, it's not the place for that. It's not the place for a Caribbean food or Caribbean culture to show its head. The Caribbeans need to go ahead and do that somewhere else, right? And at the top of this is Caroline A. Wanga. Now, Caroline Wanga is a Kenyan American who worked for many years over at Target as a DEI consultant, all right? And so we already know what DEI hires do, what they used to do. And so she left Target to come to Essence, which is more Black centered. But it appears that, again, people are still talking about this whole situation online.
We foundational Black Americans, we do have culture. And we do know where we come from. We come from this country. And this is our culture that we constantly create. Anti-Blackness is global. It is a chief export of the United States. That's why we catch it from everybody else. Sadly, even Africans. When you have specifically Africans come at you with, where are you from? And for example, I'm from Arkansas. And they respond with, no, where are you really from? You know, you're dealing with an anti-Black mindset.
And not only that, there was some back and forth between Tariq Nasheed and then certain Africans, okay? Now let's look at what Tariq Nasheed posted. Non-FBAs have been online denigrating and disrespecting foundational Black Americans and our lineage unchecked for decades. Now that FBAs are not allowing that type of disrespect, many of these immigrants now have this weird thing about blaming me. And this was earlier today, all right? He posted this comment: Tariq Nasheed, ADOS, and FBA will pay for their crimes for indoctrinating this many Black people to be xenophobic towards the entire African diaspora. We cannot heal and move forward as Black people if we're being xenophobic towards the African diaspora globally. I don't understand what this means, because the African diaspora globally is, well, I don't really think that matters as much as he's talking about the African diaspora in the United States. But I think I understand what this guy is trying to say, even though I don't think I do. This is literally Tariq Nasheed's fault, like literally all of it. Okay, it's another person saying that. Then we have, this is Tariq Nasheed's fault, little P. Little Tam, soft Puerto Rican princess. I might have to go ahead on, hold on Tariq, I might have to go ahead and simp on her real quick, player. But I'll be at the FBA meeting tonight though, after I get through trying to enroll her over in the Clapathon Tech. Now, she is fine. P against the world, I definitely blame Tariq and them FBA NEEGASs. All right. So then Tariq Nasheed, at a point went on to X and he posted something that was very interesting about Caroline Wanga. Okay.
The definition of xenophobic is having or showing a dislike or a prejudice against people from another country. And that's exactly what African immigrants do against foundational Black Americans in America. Yes. It's so rich coming from many African immigrants during this hot debate discussion in regards to the failure of the Essence Festival of 2025. Now sparking this back and forth, and also around this whole immigration situation that's happening here in the United States. Now African immigrants are wanting to call foundational Black Americans xenophobic. Xenophobic. Us. Of all people. And the most xenophobic people, I think, of any minority group here in the United States is the Africans. And that is because when you see Indians come to the United States, they don't delineate from their people. They connect with their people. They work with their people. They communicate with their people. They make sure that they share their culture, and they go back and forth with each other, and they build their wealth with each other. And that's smart. When the Chinese come here to the United States, they commune with other Chinese, and that's smart. When the Latin community comes here to the United States, many of them do the same. They open up their restaurants in their own communities. They strengthen up their cultural ties by speaking the language with each other, making sure that they have cultural meetings with each other and different social activities to strengthen the ties of people that are back home, that are coming here, and people that are already here. Same thing with, I want to say the same thing even with the West Indian community. West Indian people, they come here, they have their restaurants, they know their people. Africans are the only people that have a plan before they even touch the soil here in the United States not to talk to their own Black folks in the United States. They make it a mission to avoid Black people. And if they have to give services at the hair braiding shop, some of them talk so nasty to our sisters that come there to patronize their businesses. Now, of all the xenophobic people here in the United States, I have to be honest, it is the African people. And now with this Essence Festival, it's just now on an open stage and everybody in the world can see it. Who has a festival of like-minded cultures and creates battles? The Jollof battle versus the jambalaya battle in a New Orleans city. Now, who do you think was going to win that battle? And why create a battle? This is a time of unity, not of division. And that's what I'm talking about. Africans come over here already with a divided mind. They do not want to socialize with Black American people. They think that they are above.
That's slave food. I don't do that, babe. I'm not a slave. I was never a slave. That's slave food. I don't do that, babe. I'm not a slave. I was never a slave.
They think that they are here to teach us. We don't want to know where we come from in Africa. We know where we come from in Africa. You do not have to tell us that. We know that we come from the United States, and we also come from Africa, and we also come from the Caribbean, and there's other places that we come from as well. But that's neither here or there. Getting back to the main point, stop being divisive. Stop being xenophobic yourself. Take off the shirt. I am xenophobic against my own.
That's slave food. I don't do that, babe. I'm not a slave. I was never a slave.
And it's comments like this that just makes me pause and question why people that look just like me, when there's such a widespread, and that's all I have to say about that, for foundational Black Americans, that you want to even connect with the Essence Festival, something that was started by 4 foundational Black American men. A lot of people have a misconception that Susan Taylor was the founder of Essence. Our sister, who did a phenomenal job of being the face of Essence, is Caribbean descent, and she understood that there was a balance between making sure that all cultures were represented in Essence, but that the foundational Black experience is the one that the subscribers were really paying for. And this is what's going to really harm Essence, because all of this back and forth with African immigrants and foundational Black Americans. See, the whole point of the Essence Festival was to connect with the readers. And whether they like it or not, it is the foundational Black Americans that are paying for those subscriptions. Now, how the holdings and the ownership and the CEO and the sale of the Essence Corporation came about, I do not know. These are the questions that we need to have as Black Americans when it comes to our culture. Who is purchasing and selling our culture on our dime? Because even with Target being a present there at that festival, I understand that there was already a contractual agreement there, but I feel like that could have even been handled with better care, being that there is such a heated issue with Target and the foundational Black Americans. And also too, being that the new CEO is a Kenyan American, and she proudly continues to keep on her social media platform pages that she is a DEI hire for Target. I feel like that's another telling that there is not any type of sensitivity when it comes to certain civil rights issue, certain, the disrespect that happens with Black Americans here in the United States. A lot of times African immigrants, they glaze over that, and they oftentimes will allow that to be discounted just so that they can have an opportunity to come here and earn money. I'd love to know more about what you think in regards to this. This is going on past a week now, but this Essence Festival topic is still heated. It's very sensitive, and it's just unveiling a larger problem that is continuing to permeate between African immigrants and Black Americans. And of course, this needs to stop. This needs to stop. We have to come to some type of understanding and mutual respect between each other and unity. Please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe and definitely share so this continues to create even more conversations towards positivity. Thank you.